What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have Australian Special Forces versus U.S. Special Forces, and I believe we got an American in special, one of the U.S. Special Forces talking about his experience working with the Aussies. But before we dive into this video, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give a video a thumbs up, and let's dive right in.
The channel, everybody. So today we are going to talk about my experience working with Australian Special Forces, and more specifically their 2 Commando and SAS units, okay, which I worked with pretty extensively. I know, surprisingly, a lot of people from Australia tune into the channel and notice some things like my 2 CDO patch and Australian flags all over my plaques. Okay, in first group, we do a lot of partner training with Australia. Some big events every year, one called Talisman Sabre and some things like that. And I just want to talk to you guys about how, or what I think about their Special Forces units. Now, if you've watched my previous video on where I rank the best and worst foreign special operations units, you'll already know that I ranked Australians at the very top of who I like to work with the most. Okay, so let's get that out of the way up front. Obviously, I'm very partial to the Aussies and working with them for a bunch of different reasons. Skill, enjoyment, just culture, overall, that type of stuff. So what I want to do first is sort of talk about the partnership, or us being allied with Australia, and why it's so important strategically. Okay, a lot of people might not realize this. Australia is definitely our #1 strategic ally by far. Why? Well, location, proximity to China, obviously shared culture, shared values, all sorts of different things. People think Britain or France or Europe. Not only that, but Australia was the country that didn't abandon us in Iraq and the global war on terror. Whether you approve of that war or not, Australia left in 2021 just like we did. They were there for the long haul with us.
I would have thought, I think, I guess as a civilian who doesn't know much about military, much about the Special Forces and our relationships with other countries, I would have thought the UK would be #1. Maybe Australia would fall at #2. But I would have thought UK would have been the #1 ally. But he's like, no, like strategically, it does make sense. Australia, geographic-wise, position-wise, yeah, they are the closest to China. And he's like, they've had our backs. When everyone else kind of left us, they've always stuck beside us.
And because of that, just like our special operators are so good in combat because of all the combat experience, Australian operators actually have a lot of combat experience as well, unlike most of the other foreign units. Okay, so again, who do I primarily work with? Australian 2 Commando for the most part, and some SAS stuff. So what I want to do is roll. My ODA actually had a big marketing video done that Special Operations Command used from our trip in Australia. So I'm gonna roll the clip of that, and you can see this is my ODA. I'm in some of these clips and our Australian partners. So let's check it out.
Special Operations is the overarching umbrella. You've got Navy SEALs, you got the SOCOM umbrella, AFSOC, MARSOC, all these different units. But truly there is only one Special Forces. That's the U.S. Army Green Berets.
Oh my days.
I've had a very, very fortunate and privileged career. And every time the ramp goes down, every time I get on the helicopter, being able to jump out of the aircraft. This is not a job to me, it's a dream. And I never worked.
All right, so you can see we did a lot.
I absolutely love that ODA. That was absolute fire. I did not know, is that true about there only being like one true Special Forces in the U.S., and that's the Green Berets? So the Navy SEALs would not be considered a special force? I would love to hear thoughts on that one. I didn't know that.
A lot of air type stuff, okay? Fast roping, Halo, military free fall, that type of stuff. That was a big part of it, of the exercise. And I'll walk you through what Talisman Saber can kind of look like and how those training exercises together actually look. But let's talk about what the Aussies are the best at, or really, really good at, and from working together with them. Number one, by far, and I think they take the most pride in it, and they were extremely skilled at it when we worked together, better than us, is fast roping. Okay, so fast roping is when you're taking troops, sending them out of a helicopter down a rope. Okay, it's actually the most dangerous thing we do in the military. Okay, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, a lot of ways to get hurt, a lot of ways you can die. But these guys are very, very good at it. You know, they even fast rope dogs out with them and all kinds of stuff. So highly impressed when we were doing fast rope training together. All right, next one they were very good at was military free fall operations. Okay, so my ODA that was there was a Halo military free fall ODA, and so we did a lot of partnered jumps and things together. And they are equally as talented as an American Special Forces Halo ODA for sure. All right, and then number three, tactics and combat prowess. So we did some pretty large scale training hits on targets, raids, things like that. And they were very tactically proficient as well. So I said those were the two things that stood out to me the most, I was most impressed with. And a lot of times
these Aussies be fearless out here, man. They be fearless. So like going down there, they ain't scared. I don't know, something about Aussies, bro. That I watched so many videos that they're just, sometimes it feels like they don't have a fear of anything. And I'm like, coming from America, looking at the videos, I'm like, I have a fear of a lot of things. So but they're just absolutely amazing. So it's really cool. So down the rope, quick rope, they come down it very quickly. From looking at the video, I guess from my perspective, you wouldn't think there's a lot of ways to get injured, but I'm absolutely going to take the word of someone who has actually been in the Special Forces. You said it's a very great skill to have. There's a lot of ways you can get injured. You got to come down, and they're very good at it, very quick, can even take dogs down with them. Absolutely amazing. Then free falling. Oh, Jesus, that looks terrifying to me. They're just coming out of this plane. My days. All these are absolutely exceptional at that. And then combat tactics, very tactically sound. Okay, Australia.
We work with foreign units. You know, American Special Forces, our skill and talent level is a mile higher than the people we work with. That's not the case with the Aussies. Okay, they are very skilled, very talented, and very good at their job, just like United States Special Forces units are. Okay, so what are some of the types of things we did? All right, well, so we did two big raids, okay, or hits. The first one we did for the training exercise was to tape down a shipping port. We were in the Northern Territories, and it was a huge shipping port. We used our ODA, plus I think 2 or 3 more ODAs, and their entire 2 commando unit to make the hit, which actually very interesting, because in the next one we did, we actually took down an international airport. We don't get to, in America, we don't get to train like that. Like, we don't get to just fly Chinook helicopters into a city, land them in the middle of a street, and run out and do these big, crazy training exercises in the middle of like downtown Seattle, which the Aussies are able to do because the military actually has domestic authority, so they're actually allowed to train and do stuff like that in civilian areas, which I think is really cool, and let us do some things we're not used to be able to do. The next big one, which is kind of the final colex, we took down an international airport, a real international airport. Obviously it was set up for our training mission, but they had like 200 role players there, and again, we used both units to take this down. As we came in, chaos, people screaming, running everywhere, mock terrorists within the airport and all types of stuff like that. It was very, very cool mission to do. And again, not something we would be able to do in the United States. We'd be able to shut down an entire international airport to be able to do a training exercise. So very, very...
That's really cool. Yeah, just from him explaining it, you could tell like how excited he was in doing it, how fascinated he was. Because, like you said, not able to do that in the U.S., shut down the entire international airport. Yeah, I don't ever see that flying here to do training or dropping in the middle of a city. Like, that's fire that Australian Special Forces are actually able to do that in their training, and that America gets involved in that and gets to experience doing that since they can't do it here. That's really cool. And then tactically, on the tactical level, it seems like they're about even. He talks about skill level of other foreign countries. America usually being like head and shoulders above other countries, but so not with Australia. That's not the case with Australia.
Very cool opportunities that we got to train with those guys there. Now, why is our relationship so important right now? And that is because of our common adversary and enemy that we both know is the biggest problem in the world, and that is China. Okay, Australia unfortunately has tied a ton of their economy to China and is trying to figure out how to backstep out of that, much like the United States is. Okay, so we have a very strategic or very important strategic partnership in dealing with the South China Sea and everything that's going on there. Okay, so that's why I think Australia is America's number one most important strategic partner by far right now. Also, just to tie it up and finish the video out, this one will be a little bit shorter than usual, but I just want to talk about part of the reason why I ranked Australia so high in my video best foreign special forces units is how much I liked working with the Aussies. Okay, that doesn't even come close from any other foreign unit I worked with. The Aussies were by far the most fun to work with, the funniest dudes. Those guys, their culture out of control a little bit. You know, we might have done a little bit of bar hopping and drinking with the Aussie boys, and I can say, you know, as crazy as I thought U.S. Special Forces operators can be, those guys were 10 times as crazy. I would say borderline out of control, but maybe not out of control by Australian standpoint. I'm not sure. Yeah. But even during the training exercises, all the dudes are super nice, super funny, great stories, and by far, you know, my favorite unit to work with. And when I would do Talisman's Favor is probably my favorite training exercise that I would ever do. So
I think I'm not surprised to hear that, like how the Aussie Special Forces are like really cool dudes, laid back, chill, have a good time. I'm not surprised about that at all, and American getting along with them very well, because I've seen through many reaction videos how the Aussie people are, and absolutely are amazing. I can't wait, because I know I'm going to one day. I'll tell y'all, I just gotta build my bank account up. Just gotta get it up. But I told y'all one day I'm gonna travel to Australia and get to hang with some of you guys, hopefully. Get to experience some of Australia, and I think that'll be like really cool and really fun, and I think you guys are incredible, so I hope that one day, someday, within this next year, within 2025, I'm praying. If I'm telling y'all, if on YouTube I can just get, let's say, a $6,500 month, which is definitely a goal to aspire for. If I can do that, then I'll come to Australia. Try to come for like a week, if I can reach that.
Shout out to all the Aussie fans and to all the American fans. I hope you guys found it interesting, hearing about, you know, what the Aussies are really good at, and the fact that we work together so much on such a regular basis. I think people might be interested in learning that. So that's going to tie it up for this one, and you got some interesting content coming up around the corner. Probably next video we're going to do is talking about the state of the Special Forces qualification course. Have buddies that are instructors right there, or there now, who I sat down with for like an hour and got a giant deep dive into how the course is set up, not right now, grading criteria, standards, what the cadre are looking for as instructors. So should be a very good video. We should have that out probably on Wednesday. And then merch is en route. We got the order in. We're waiting for it to get produced, probably be about 2 weeks. And then I'll show it to you guys on one of the videos and launch the store. Looks really sweet. Yeah, it's gonna tie it up. Have a good day, everybody.
Definitely enjoyed that video and getting to hear from an American perspective. That was really cool to me. Yeah, I hope I get to see more of these videos. Let me know what you guys thought about the U.S. Special Forces and Australian Special Forces working together, being such close allies, and then being so kind of evenly skilled, it seems. So that's really awesome. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, give a video a thumbs up, and check out that next one. I'll see you guys next time.